Hey guys, welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. I'm so excited to finally be able to get some videos up for you guys. On my Instagram, I literally get asked every single day about natural hair growth and how I grew my hair to mid-back length, so I decided to make that my very first video. However, disclaimer, okay, your hair will grow on its own. Hair grows ½ inch on average every single month without you doing anything to it. The problem is that if your hair is growing ½ inch a month, but it's also breaking off ½ inch a month, guess what? It's going to look like your hair is not growing. Your hair is going to stay at the same length forever. So these tips are actually going to be about retaining the length. So if you can retain your length, your hair will get longer. So if you want to see my top 10 tips for how I grew my hair to mid-back length in 3 years, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I have my tips written down on my phone. So if you see me looking down, that's why. Alright, so starting from tip number 10 and working our way to the first tip. Tip number 10, weekly washing and or co-washing. Okay. Guys, I know you've probably heard 1,000,001 times to wash your hair and how important washing your hair is. But I'm including it in these tips because it really is essential. Your hair grows from the scalp. If your scalp is not clean, your hair is not going to grow as effectively as it could because it's dirty. Your hair grows ½ inch a month, like I said, on average. But if your scalp is not clean, it's not going to grow that much. I'm just telling you, it's not going to grow that much. So I personally like to wash my hair every single week. And I use a sulfate-free, paraben-free shampoo every single week. But some people prefer to co-wash their hair. And co-washing is basically just using a conditioner to wash your hair. A lot of people feel like shampoos are too harsh for their hair, so they opt to use a conditioner, which is fine. But I would recommend, if you are going to co-wash, I would still use an actual shampoo at least once a month, because you just want to make sure that you're really getting your strands clean and getting rid of any product buildup that you might have. Tip number 9, weekly deep conditioning. Okay guys, I'm just going to tell you now, if you are not deep conditioning your hair, you need to start immediately, okay? Like, that is how important deep conditioning is. Your natural hair strands need moisture, and even though products have moisture and some conditioners or all conditioners should have moisture, regular conditioners sit on top of your hair strands. They do not actually penetrate your hair strands. Deep conditioners, the reason why they are called deep conditioners is because they are able to penetrate your hair strands. Therefore, the moisture is actually getting to the inside of each hair strand, which makes your hair super moisturized, makes it super supple and easy to detangle and manage, and it's just so important. There's plenty of deep conditioners out there. All you have to do is just try some and see what you like, see what you don't like. Some have more protein, whereas others have more moisture. I personally switch up my deep conditioners. Like when one runs out, I switch and use a completely different kind, because I just don't want my hair to get used to any one deep conditioner because it's so important. But if you just experiment and try different ones, you'll kind of figure out the ones that your hair likes. But regardless, please, please, please include a deep conditioner every time you wash your hair. So get in the shower or wash your hair in the sink, and then when you rinse that out, make sure you deep condition. I use a heating cap because heat really helps to make sure that the deep conditioner can really penetrate your hair strands and work its best. So I usually use a heating cap for about 30 minutes, and then I take that off, and then I just let the deep conditioner sit on my hair for another 30 minutes to an hour, depending on what I have to do that day. Sometimes I might even sleep in it. It just depends, because literally you can never get enough moisture. You can never get enough deep conditioner, so it's really up to you. As long as you're doing it, then that's great. Okay, so tip number 8, finger detangling. All right, so story time. I remember when I was transitioning and I would see girls, natural hair girls with all this beautiful hair, and they would say, yeah, I finger detangle. And I used to look like, I would look at my phone like, what in the world? Like, you finger detangle all of that hair? And I used to just think that was the craziest thing, and I thought I would never do it. I was like, no, I don't have time. I'm going to keep using my combs. I don't care. But luckily, I actually grew out of that, and I did try finger detangling, and it just changed everything for me. I finger detangle my hair 24/7. 100% of the time I'm finger detangling. I never use combs, I never use brushes, I just use my fingers. The reason why finger detangling for me is way better than using a comb is because you are never going to be as gentle with a comb or with a brush as you will be with your fingers. Reason is, when you are finger detangling and working through your hair, you can feel each tangle and each knot. And when you get to it, you're able to run your fingers through and really get the tangle out carefully and slowly. But when you're using a comb or a brush, you're combing through, and by the time you get to the tangle, you probably have already combed through some of it and might have even snapped some of your hair off in the process, which leads to breakage. So I noticed that when I started to finger detangle, my breakage went down to literally nothing. Like, I barely have any breakage now because you're using your fingers to finger detangle. But if you are using a comb, you're more likely to get a little bit of breakage. That's just kind of how it is. I know it seems like finger detangling is going to be like something that's going to take you all day and night. But as you get better, as you do it more often, it becomes like second nature to you, and it really doesn't take that long. I can finger detangle my whole head in, 10-15 minutes? Like, I just know how to do it now. So if you feel like you are experiencing a lot of breakage, I would definitely give finger detangling a try. So that is actually a perfect segue into my 7th tip, which is pre-pooing. I have literally been pre-pooing my hair since my transitioning days, and it just makes my wash days so much smoother. Basically, what a pre-poo is you use either conditioner or oils, and you just prepare your hair for your wash day. If you think about it, washing your hair is actually pretty harsh on your hair strands. You're doing a lot of manipulation, and you're really putting a lot of stress and strain on your hair. What pre-pooing does is it gets your hair ready for that, and it also helps to moisturize your hair prior to washing it, and you can get the dead hair and any shed hair that hasn't come out yet. You can get it out while you are pre-pooing. For me, I use olive oil and coconut oil, and I put some hot water in my sink, and I just set the bowl inside of the sink, and that melts the oils inside of the bowl. And then you're able to put that on your hair, and I usually do my hair in 4 sections, and I just go in and I put the oils on each section, and I finger detangle with the oils. The oils really help to make my hair moisturized and easy to detangle. It gives my hair a ton of slip, so it makes the finger detangling process super easy. So like, back to what I was saying before, it might seem like finger detangling is going to take you forever, but if you do a pre-poo, it's really not that bad. And then your hair is already detangled, and you get in the shower and your hair is already in the twist, and you can literally wash your hair in the twist, or you can take like 1 twist down at a time. That's what I do. I take 1 twist down at a time, and then after I'm done, I twist it back up, and your hair stays moisturized, it stays detangled through the whole wash process. So I would definitely recommend pre-pooing if you have not started doing it. So for my final tip of part 1, tip number 6 is treat your ends like a little baby. Okay, so if you think about it, the ends of your hair are the oldest parts of your hair. These are the parts that you really need to take care of, because those are the parts that are going to break off if you're not taking care of your hair. If you think about the fact that all of the nutrients that come out of your scalp have to travel all the way from the top all the way to the bottom, and with curly hair especially, it's really hard for that moisture and those nutrients to get all the way to your ends. They're going to need a little bit of help. So what I do is I pay especially special attention to my ends. So with every step of the process, with moisture, with deep conditioning, I always make sure that I put a specific amount on my ends. Like I'll do like my whole hair, my whole head, but then I make sure that I go back and I add some specifically to my ends. That will literally make a world of difference. I remember when I had relaxed hair, I would see little pieces of hair like on my bed or on my clothes, on my desk, and I would just be like, oh, that's just normal. It's not normal, okay? That is breakage. Those are the ends of your hair that are the weakest parts of your hair, and they're breaking off. So if you are seeing that, then you know that that's breakage. If you see short pieces of hair, that is not normal. That is not good. If you see long pieces of hair, then that's just regular shedding. But short pieces of hair are definitely breakage, and those are the pieces that are going to break off. When I said in the beginning of the video, when I talked about your hair grows half an inch, but if it's breaking off half an inch, that is that half an inch that's breaking off. So you really want to baby your ends, take care of your ends, pay attention to them. If you see a lot of split ends, I know it's hard. Nobody wants to cut their hair, but it's better to trim your ends and to cut those split ends early so that they don't split all the way up your hair strand and just ruin your hair. Okay, so that'll complete part 1 of this series. If you want to see tips 5 through 1, then make sure that you stay tuned for part 2. It'll be up very, very soon. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Love you guys.